What kind of music are you into? What kind of music?
It's kind of funny you ask that. Nothing up to date. Nothing up to date. I mean, there's some songs out there that I like, but I'm not a fan of today's artists. The ones who are out right now, they still basically some of the older artists, but a lot of the new artists I can't really get into them. To give you an example, Drake, I like Drake, and then at the same time I don't like him, and it's kind of funny.
Right. Right.
Yeah, for example, Drake, I like Drake, but at the same time I don't like him, and what made me not like him is because every new artist that came after him started sounding like him and emulating him, so it kind of turned me off from him and his style, and it's kind of tricky because I still like to listen to Drake rap. And then the thing with Nicki Minaj, I'm totally not a Nicki Minaj fan or anybody that tries to sound like her, because it just killed the whole concept of being original. You know what I mean? And every female after Nicki Minaj wanted to emulate her style, and she went so far out of rap that I stopped calling her a rap artist. I don't even know what it is that she does now. She don't rap, she rambles now.
Right.
So I'm not a fan of today's artists. Kendrick Lamar. It's a big thing about Kendrick Lamar right now, and still to the day, I haven't heard the verse that he sings, so I don't know what they're talking about because I just don't have any interest. He
was basically telling artists to step their game up because you worrying about getting who's the hottest in the game instead of, you know, it's some whack rappers out there who's the hottest in the game. They getting them featured on their tracks just to get sales instead of really spitting what's real. That's what he was basically saying in the verse. So I'm just saying with you, I can't stand the whack. I don't even call it hip hop. That's what I call it. I don't call them rap artists. I just call them rappers because they rap about nothing.
I call them ramblers. I call them ramblers and just mushmouthing. I am fans of some of the artists out that are not even really mainstream artists, and I think it's really more talented.
Me too.
To give you an example, you for one, when I first heard your song, I was immediately attracted to the song. And then this artist who's been out for a minute and who's just trying to make a way, to give you some names, Adonis to Amazon. I'm a huge fan of hers. Lady Murph, I'm a huge fan of hers. Benny Basil from Contraband, I'm a huge fan of his. Chris from Cure Hip Hop, I'm a huge fan of his. You know what I mean? So a lot of the artists that I listen to that are out right now are not even the mainstream rappers. Other than that, the ones that I listen to, I'm a huge Wkdjb fan. Rakim, I'm a huge Rakim fan. Scarface, huge Scarface. And you see the generation I get into, I like their generation of rap more than I do this new generation. The new generation, I just can't get with it. I'm sorry.
Money, clothes, hoes, and
exactly.
Droves.
No content. Trash.
I was looking at a comment on YouTube. I was listening to Moment of Truth, Guru, and they were saying that I'm tired of music nowadays because it's nothing that, like, she said, I can listen to Guru and he talk about everything I'm living. You know, I can just feel it. But this music nowadays, I don't have nothing in common with it. What you have to say about that?
I feel the same way. I don't have anything in common with the new music of the day. Everybody is rapping about the exact same thing. You may twist and turn your words, but you're still talking about the exact same thing. You know what I mean? And I'm just not a fan of it. Another thing I'm in disagreement with, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me about it, is this so-called who's the greatest rapper of all times. And the two people that they're constantly naming, if you ask me, they're not the two greatest of all times, because I think for you to be the greatest, you have to do something or say something that outdoes everybody else. And I don't think it's one rapper that did that yet. I don't think nobody said a verse that outdoes everybody else. I heard rappers who are better versed. I heard rappers who are more talented. I listen to Tretch. I listen to Tretch and his flow and his versatility, and I think he outdoes the two that they say are the greatest two of all times. Then I listen to people like Nas, and when I listen to Nas and Rakim, it's like I'm listening to the same person. And I say that to say that I put them on the same level when it comes to talent. These are two great rappers, and I mean really great rappers. But at the same time, you got people saying two more rappers are greater than them, and I don't agree with it. I really don't agree with it.
Yeah, cause really, and he not one of my favorite artists, but I was talking about Ice Cube. He was underrated as an artist coming up. I always thought Ice Cube was underrated, even though he not my I wouldn't consider him the greatest, but he could be in the top 25 of all time. Ice Cube.
I'm gonna tell you. Ice Cube is in the top 10.
Think top 10?
He's in the top 10. I don't care if anybody disagree with me. That's because they haven't listened to him. It's kind of funny that I heard somebody say that Drake was in the top 5, and I said obviously you haven't heard any other rapper other than Drake. But Ice Cube is definitely in the top 10. Very underrated. There's a whole lot of very underrated rappers out there. ODB is a very underrated rapper. The DOC is a very underrated rapper. And it's just to name a few. Who else? Chuck D. And how could you not put KRS-One in the top 5? How could you not put Busta Rhymes in the top 5?
I don't know, there's a lot of controversy going on.
Exactly, and I'll say that as a rap fan and not a fan of certain artists. You cannot name one artist who outdoes all the rest of them.
And the reason why I say KRS-One, I say because coming up KRS-One, music is politicking. And he used to diss a lot of artists so that they didn't give him his proper respect that he deserved. He deserved the respect, but people immediately shied away from him due to him throwing them shots at him, which is, I don't think is right. I don't think that is right.
Right. Still can't take away from him.
No, you can't.
KRS-One is one of the greatest rappers of all time. Chuck D. How can you name a rapper greater than Chuck D? How can you do it?
So what you got to say about like Flavor Flav and stuff like that? Who grew up fight the power and all that? What you got to say about him?
I think Flavor Flav played a real huge part in hip hop. I really do. I think he took it to another level, because without Flavor Flav, if we would even have the concept of a hype man, we really wouldn't.
What you gotta do is him selling out though. He came from all this hard being one unity hype man to selling his soul and doing all this dumb stuff. What you gotta say about that?
I think it was just part of entertainment.
So you're not against it?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I think it's just part of entertainment. That was a market, and one thing about business, you have to go according to the market. If you're not setting your own pace or creating your own lane, then you have to follow the market, and I think he did it well. And actually, I think when he did it, his was more entertaining than a lot of these followers. You know what I mean? He really did it with that flavor of love and everything else he did, and he was supported. He was supported by his group. Chuck D, everybody supported that. So I don't think he sold out. I think he just became a part of a market, and he did very well with it.
Okay. So where can people find you, and how can people get in contact with you to work with you?
It's funny because I do all of my promoting and advertising on Facebook.
Okay.
And it helps. You know, between Facebook and word of mouth, it turned out that was all I needed. I don't even have a website to advertise and sell. You know, it's basically word of mouth. It's a service, so people have to come here. It's not product based, it's strictly service. I just print. I don't supply shirts. I let the customers bring their own shirts. That way I don't have to be responsible for sizes and colors. They bring them and document what color goes on what, as far as their design, and I'll just do the print job.
Okay. And one more thing. Who are people that you work with, and who are some people that you want to work with?
It's kind of hard to say. I'm basically good with dealing with the basic ground level customers. A lot of people who come in who are, you know, in the entertainment industry, they have a, you know, they look at themselves a lot different than I do, and they kind of figure that they're supposed to get more than, you know what I mean, more than what I have to offer, or they should pay less than what everybody else should pay. And I'd really rather deal with the basic ground level because my prices is competitive. I'm more customer oriented than anything, so it's not like just strictly business. I make sure they get the most of, you know, for their money, and the best of what they can get for their money. So I really rather deal with people who are right here with me, you know what I mean, so that way we can pull each other up at the same time.
Okay. Do you have any like festivals or anything coming up in the future?
No, not myself.
No,
not myself, but I do a lot. A lot of people got family reunions, basketball leagues, get-togethers, memorials. I'll just do their stuff. As far as myself personally, I don't have anything. I just go along with what they bring.
Okay. So what's the one more thing? Tell us the song you would like to introduce right now.
You say song, what do you mean?
A video.
A video? I think the one that I like the most right now is between yours, the video that you have out right now. And I was just picking with Lady Merck a few days ago about a comment I made on one of her pictures, and I really like her video too.
Okay.